Hello, fellow nurse entrepreneurs. One of the things that I've always wanted to do was always wanted to help nurses work from anywhere, pretty much have the flexibility, pretty much have their freedom so that they could do whatever they wanted to do.
Joining VP Nursing was one of the best decisions that I could have ever made. If I was to have a regret, it would be that I didn't join sooner.
If they wanted to be with their children, if they wanted to be with their families, they can do exactly what they wanted to do.
Ola is the type of person, she's not going to let you stay the same. The way she levels up her clients in every area of their lives.
I could not have imagined being a nurse with my own business, being in this space with so many amazing people, with a coach that 1,000,000% cares about what my outcome is going to be.
And so here at VP Nursing, we teach nurses how to work from their computers anywhere around the world, making money, owning their own time, building profitable nurse coaching, consulting, and service-based businesses. And so now we're at the beach and we're working at the beach and we're having a great time. We're doing a brand photo shoot. It's an amazing time. So if you want to learn how to work from anywhere around the world, creating that flexibility, creating that freedom for yourself, but monetizing the knowledge that you already have, join us at VP Nursing Business Academy. Good morning, everyone. So I'm super excited. I've got Dr. Angelica here, okay? So Dr. Angelica and I have been, kind of hanging out in the same spaces, but then not seeing each other. But anyway, we're together this morning. So I ask that you like, share, and comment on the video so that we can ensure that we are getting the views that we need, and give us any feedback on what we can do to, or who we can bring on to make this better. So Dr. Angelica, tell us who you are in your own words.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Angelica Charles. I am a wife. I'm a mother of two. I am a family nurse practitioner. I am an active member of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. And I just love being in the community, active member at church. And I just love being in the community and helping people. So I feel like I'm always connected to the community in some way, whether it be church, with Delta, or whether it's with my job.
I love it. Y'all Deltas, y'all be sticking together, okay? Y'all people, okay? So we're gonna get right into this. So now, when we talked earlier, you were telling me about you being waitlisted at North Carolina Central, and you considered changing majors. So what specifically drew you towards nursing in the first place?
In the first place with nursing, when I think I was about, it's an estimated age, but I think I was around about 12, my grandmother, my father's mother, she was diagnosed with colon cancer, and she was on hospice, and she was actively, transitioning in the home. And I was able to actually see that. And I always said that I wanted to give back once once I grew up, basically. And that's why originally I became a nurse, and I actually became a oncologist nurse for about 8 years at Wakeman, and I was a chemotherapy nurse. So that's kind of what started my kickoff with my career. Kind of blessing in disguise. My grandma transitioned and actually inspired me to help others.
I love it. Now, you had a conversation with your mama, okay? Because you kind of wanted to kind of switch gears a little bit, and your mama said something to you. So how did that impact your view of persistence?
She was just like, well, so you have to wait to get into the nursing program the next year, and you're going to change your major just because of 1 year, and you've been waiting to do this all your life. So it kind of instilled in me, because it was like, I didn't have patience, because, when you're young and you're just in college and you're like, look, I'm just ready to graduate. College is a rough, so it just inspired me to, to wait it out and keep going, because she knew this was what I wanted. So she didn't let me give up on my dream.
You know what? I love that, because one of the things that we have to always know is that sometimes it's not in our own timing, like it's in God's timing. And, your mom just, reminded you of that, because what I do know is that God's timing is perfect. Like every single solitary time is perfect. So I'm glad that she reminded you of that. Now, you doing those, and we're going to talk a little bit about your dad. Okay. So during the intense 2 months between your father's diagnosis in March and his passing in May, how did your nursing background affect how you process what was happening?
Well, originally, when he was first diagnosed, and just seeing him going through the motions with his diagnosis and everything, like I knew he before they told me, I already had knew he was, closer than what family members and maybe even what he was thinking, because when you're a nurse and
Tell.
you can kind of tell by, at first, and I did oncology and I did other things at the hospital. So sometimes I worked with patients that's transitioned. So I knew the symptoms that he were having, that it was, kind of getting close. So, and it kind of impacted me because it was so weird because the last like 2 weeks and even after his death, I had patients that, had similar diagnoses, and I don't know if I was just placed there for it to help me kind of get through what I was going through with my father. But eventually had to stop working because my father wouldn't let anyone touch him unless I said so. So I had to stop working because I was charge nurse, and he was calling, the doctors were calling me like every 30 minutes. And I said, okay, I'm gonna have to take off.
I love it. I love it. Listen, let me tell you something. My mother's birthday is she would have been 95 today. And one of the things that this lady, like, she was hilarious. I was telling somebody yesterday, because they're so resilient and they're so tough, you know? And so I was telling somebody yesterday, because our old pastor had passed away. And so we didn't really want to tell her, she's older. We don't know, how long it's going to be when she passes away. And so we didn't really want to tell her. So when we finally told her, she was like, you can tell me what you want to tell me. I'm going to live forever. It's like, okay. She was like, go ahead. Listen, I'm good. Okay. So what specific financial advice, because your dad gave you some financial advice and life wisdom, did your father share during his final conversations with you?
So he basically, I know on Monday when I had visited him at UNC Chapel Hill Hospital, he basically told me that it's like my dad, like he knew he was transitioning over, but it's like he didn't want me to know that he knew, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, yeah, I hope I'm not, leaving y'all. I don't want to leave my children. It's just me and my father just have two children. It's me and my younger brother. We're like 10 years apart. And he was just like, well, what I need you to do, I need you to just keep pushing through it all, just make sure you don't stop, because he knew that I was, at this time I was, when he passed away, I was a registered nurse, but I had got into Simmons University for nurse practitioner school. So I actually started a day after his funeral at nurse practitioner school, and I actually was going to push it back, but then the words just kept playing in my head. He just said I need to keep pushing. So what I did was I just emailed my professors and like, hey, I just lost my father. I actually have to bury him on Sunday. We have a test Monday. I'm probably gonna bum it because I don't have time to study, because I was his power of attorney and I was handling everything. At that time, my brother was too young and I didn't want to really put too much on him. And I was still young at the time, but I was old enough to handle what was going on. So it was just very impactful, like the words that he had to say to me.
I
And
love
then
that.
4 days later he passed. So those
That's
words.
that's one thing that I tell people all the time, that there's power of life and death in your speech, right? And so you have to be very, very clear in speaking life into your children, life into yourself. Those things are very impactful. And one of the things that I do know, and this is one of the things I want to say on this, because I don't think people all the time realize like what their words are meaning, right? And how your words are impacting your children. So everything that you like, children are not able to abstractly think before the age of 7, right? And
Right.
so because they're not able to abstractly think, everything that you say, so if you call them a big head, they think they're a big head. If you call them a troublemaker, and then you wonder why they grow up and they really are a troublemaker, right? Those words impact them seriously. And so you have to be very, very intentional about what you say so that you can ensure. And so I'm glad that your father did that. Now, how did they support you through that time, or how did your colleagues like what kind of support did you receive during that time?
Yeah, so professors was understandable, and they was going to support me through it, but of course God showed up again, and the test that I didn't study for, I think if I can remember correctly, I know it was an A. I think I made like a 96, 98.
You better
So
go ahead now.
I
Go
passed,
ahead.
and I didn't study, so I was like, okay, well, this is God telling me I got to keep pushing. Like my daddy said, I got to keep going.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, if your father were here now, what part of your nursing career do you think that he would be most proud of?
Mhm. Well, my father, you had to know, like, if you personally know him, he is like, so when he passed away, I was a registered nurse at Wake Med, but if you would have met my dad, you would have thought that I was the CEO of Wake Med. I owned it, and everybody, yeah. So my dad was one of them type of dad, like he hyped me up through anything. It could be the smallest things, and he's like, yeah, that's my daughter. But I think now that I have went through everything, I think he would have been, I don't think it was not one part he would have been more proud of. I think he would have been proud of, every degree I accomplished, but he would have definitely loved the fact that I am a doctorate prepared nurse practitioner because, we always said that I could, go as far as I think I could go. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, how has the grief of loss influenced the way that you connect with your patients?
it it really helps me a lot, especially when I am dealing with somebody who is closer, who is transitioning, because I'm able to give feedback. I'm able to validate their feelings and let them know that, what you're feeling, what you're going through is normal. Give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up. Grief is hard. And grief, it
Ways.
comes in waves. I mean, I could just be having a good day, and next thing you know, my dad favorite song come on, or a smell, or a joke, or it could just be any little thing that could trigger your grief. So I always tell the patients, it, it's not, grief never ends. Basically, you just learn how to basically deal with it. You just have to give yourself grace. If you need to shed a tear, shed a tear. Don't beat yourself up about it, but don't allow it to end your life though, because there's other people that's counting on you, whether it be your siblings, your children, or just you got to show up for yourself.
I think that's probably the best advice that I got, because I have a friend who is she used to work with hospice, and she's a nurse practitioner too. And one of the things that she sent me this message and said, grief comes in waves. Her name is Shauna Everett. She's amazing. And she said it comes in waves. And that was the best advice I've ever been given, because you just don't know, like you don't even understand it. Like you're like, well, I should be over that, right? But it doesn't. Like it will roll in, like, and you won't even know. You'd be like, well, wait a minute now. I was having a good day now. And so once it comes in, then, crying in the moment, but then, getting back to your, regular happy self, like you said, right? Don't let it take over your life, right? Because at the end of the day, they wanted you to live,
Right.
One of the things that I remember, I was in nursing school, and one of the girls that was in nursing school, her dad passed away. And I was so, I was like, I'm so sorry that your dad passed away. And one of the things that she said was, my dad, and I never forget that, she said, my dad would rather him pass away before I do. And I was like, you're right. You're right, because losing a child is a whole different ball game, right? And so I was just, thankful for her saying that. Now we're gonna go to commercial break really quick, and then we'll be right back. Stop renewing your license just to stay broke. Every renewal season, nurses pay fees, take classes, and check boxes, but never build wealth. That license you're renewing every 2 years, it's a gold mine if you stop using it the old way. At the Millionaire Nurse CEO Conference, you'll learn how to leverage that same license to build your own business, to coach, to consult, and to create offers that bring freedom, not fatigue. And yes, you'll still earn CEUs. Comment conference below and we'll send you the details. Yep, y'all need to come to that conference. So we'll have a good time. Now, tell me a little bit about what specific, like when you were in nurse practitioner school, and like tell me a challenge that you had that, because I'll go through challenges, especially in them DNP programs. Listen, they're a whole different ball game. All right. Yeah. Ain't nobody tell me I had to write a doggone book. Okay. Nobody told me that. I was like, right. What kind of shenanigans is this? We got to write a book? Like, it's 5 chapters. Okay. And I ain't going to tell you the chapters. Just know you're going to be writing a book. Okay. To get published. But anyway, what specific challenges did you have in nurse practitioner school that your daddy's, like his words, like resonated with you during that time that helped you push through?
Yeah, so basically, how I did it, I know now they have it where you can go from your bachelor's degree to your doctorate degree. But when I was doing it, I did my my master's and then I did my doctorate degree. So for nurse practitioner school, it was just, for me, it's always like the pharmacology with just knowing the medicine inside out. That's always been a struggle. I mean, it's now that I'm practicing and you get familiar with it, but during the learning process is a curveball because you have to know so much about one specific pill. I got to know the side effects. I got to know how it interacts with other medication. I got to know. Yes,
come on.
It's like 100 reasons. Is it okay before I prescribe one medicine? It's 100 reasons why I may not can prescribe a medication. So that was always a curveball, but always when I go through challenges in life, it was always like the keep pushing part. It's just like I gotta keep going. I don't know if it's the fact that because my daddy's always happy despite of anything or where I stand in life, but I'm like, I gotta keep make my father proud. He want me to keep pushing, so I gotta push through the trauma, and it carries me throughout life in any situation. So I'm glad those words, and I think it mean the most to me because my daddy was literally, transitioning, and he was thinking about my life as he was transitioning. So I think it means more because he was on his dying bed, is what I say. But when I was in doctorate school, what got me through was just I'm not a writer at all. When I say people say, well, I can't do that. I'm like, listen. If I can go to doctorate school, and I actually went to East Carolina University, and I graduated with a 4.0, and I still don't even know. I know God, I know for sure, but I'm not a writer. So for me to get to that level and to be that successful in that program, I know for sure anybody can do it. We got to just stop limiting ourselves. I think our only limits are what we put up for ourselves, unless it's not, of course, what God wants for our life. But once you get connected with him and your calling, your purpose, who can stop you?
That's right. And you are a writer because you done wrote that. I mean, you done graduated, so you are a writer. Okay, so don't say that no more. All right.
I know. It was like, I think it was like 40 to 60 pages. I don't know. It was a lot of pages. That's all I remember.
Child, I think mine was like 40 to 60. Like I know mine was 120, crazy. 120. I know it was for sure. And I was like, why are we doing all this? And I hate it. Like, I don't know if of course the nursing instructors out there be like, I don't know why she's talking about this. I hated theory. Like, it was a whole chapter on theory. Like, I was like, this is ridiculous, right? And so, what are some of the things that you're doing now as it relates to I'm getting some feedback. But what are some of the things that you're doing now as it relates? Like, you're speaking now, aren't you?
Yeah, so I always used to say I'm not a speaker. But like I said, God always have plans that we don't have for ourselves. Because I have been saying that all my life. I don't speak. I don't like grammar. I don't write. I don't do none of this stuff. But all the stuff that I said I wasn't going to do, I'm doing. So you kind of got to be careful with your tongue. That's why I always tell people to be careful with your tongue, because God gonna show you what you saying you can't do and all this other stuff. But so He made me out to be a speaker. Oh, it had paused. I'm sorry, but yeah. So I have this. I be going around and speaking. People just want me to speak at events, whether I'm encouraging people, whether I'm speaking on health, or encouraging people who are graduating. So different speaking things that I'm always doing, and I'm actually comfortable with it now. I used to be shaking in my boots. I was the president of my class at North Carolina Central University when I was in the nursing program, and I basically had to do, like, my junior year. I had to do like the I can't think of like the person who like kind of keeps throughout the program, and then the next year I had to actually introduce the speaker, and I just felt like I was gonna pass out. But now when I get up to speak, I just go up there like I'm talking to my children. I just go up there and just talk. I mean, I don't feel like I'm as nervous. You may get nervous here and there depending on the crowd, but I just do it easily now. So I feel like it's a part of what God wants me to do. So I push
That's
through.
that's so good. That's so good. Now your camera is off. I don't know if you realize that. Um,
Oh, I can see myself. Um,
it's okay. It's okay. We'll work through it. So, and I think that that's a valid point, because a lot of times what happens is people think that they can't do a thing, right? And when they finally get to the point where they do it and they do it over, it's just like nursing, right? You get, when you first went into nursing, you didn't know what you were doing. Like, we didn't know what we're doing at all. But now it's a whole different ball game. Like, we're very comfortable with it. So repetition creates that comfort. And the more that you do that, the better it is. So that's it. So where can people find you if they want to? Do you want to do more speaking engagements? Where can people find you if they want?
so I am on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. And I have my real name on Facebook. Angelica Atkins Charles. I mean, I know people have all kind of different names, but I have my real name on Facebook. I have my real name on all my social media platforms.
Okay.
I think
That's
mine is probably Nurse Charles 17.
Nurse Charles 17. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna do some rapid fire questions for you. Okay. Um, so what has been the most rewarding thing about nursing?
I think the most rewarding thing is um, family and patients trusting you basically with their care, and at some patients is at their lowest points of their life or most vulnerable times in their life. And I don't take that I don't take that lightly, because it's like, how can you trust a stranger, right? So I think the most rewarding part is just being able to give back, get people better. And in my nurse practitioner role, I think preventative care is the
Mm,
best thing in since sliced bread is what I say. Basically trying to catch things before it happen, or that's why I always tell people, try to keep your same primary care doctor, because if somebody's seeing you for the first time, they're not going to notice that something looks off about you versus somebody you have seen for years and years and years. So it's just good to kind of prevent things before it happens, for the
gotcha.
compliant patients, of course.
Gotcha. I love that too. And I've always said that whenever you come to the hospital, that's reactive care, right? And that proactive care is what's the best. I mean, at the end of the day, because if we keep reacting to patient care, we will never be able to sustain the healthcare. That's the reason why we have such broken systems at this time, for sure. So, what are the most common misconceptions you think about nursing?
Um, the number one for nurse practitioner, I think a lot of people think nurse practitioners is doctor's assistants. A lot of times they say, like, yeah, the NP, that just the assistant. And I'm thinking, like, no, we don't assist the doctor in their work. We do our own work. We have our own patients. In the state of North Carolina, they do have to be, like, just over the license just to say that they're there if we need them. And most nurse practitioners, I'm pretty sure you can ask them. We probably talk to the doctor that's on our license or over us maybe once a year, if that, because I mean, the doctors have questions just like the nurse practitioner have questions if it's something new that we've never seen before. But I think that's the most misconception, that we are just the doctor's little helper. Like, no, we're doing our own thing. And I think now, like in 20, I forgot, I miscounted how many states, but it's 20 plus states in United States that nurse practitioners practice independently.
Right.
So they don't need help from anyone. And I'm hoping North Carolina is going to pass that law soon.
Child, I've been, whoa, listen,
Me and
that
my
is one
friend,
thing.
Dr. McCurdy, we go down there. We try to go down there once or twice a year and try to be involved with that, with the laws and trying to, the lawmakers and stuff. She's more into it than I am, but I'm right there because I'm ready for that law to pass as well.
Yeah, I think it's about 23 states at this point in time, but I just think that it's just ridiculous. It just increases the healthcare costs at the end of the day, because you're having to pay a doctor to be your supervising physician. That's crazy. But
We can
anyway,
save much money.
yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. So what are you reading now?
So I have a book. I only read a few pages. I'm so busy with my children with sports. They keep us so busy. But I am trying to read a book called Power Moves by Pastor Sarah Jake Roberts. I want to read that. I feel like it'll help me because at this point in my life, I feel like I'm, using my voice more. I'm walking in purpose and um, just trying to navigate through life with different transitions that God has me going through.
Gotcha. Now, I love I don't think I've ever read. I'm a listener, right? Like I like to listen. Like we'll go on road trips and I'll listen to books. But I think that I probably need to. Maybe I have read Power Moves before. Like I read so much. This is crazy. But what are some of the biggest lessons that you have learned in the business of being a nurse practitioner?
um, Basically, I feel like relationships is the most important part when it comes down to nurse practitioner. That's the biggest lesson I've learned. Like having that rapport with patients, I feel like that helps with your care with people. The more people, I feel like the more people trust you, the more information they'll give you and they'll trust you with.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, who is a leader, living or dead, that you would like to have a conversation with?
I always say Michelle Obama is because I know she's a Capricorn like I am. But I just feel like she understands how to lead, how to build, how to be a mother, how to stay. And the biggest thing with her to me is she stay grounded in her identity. I always ask God, no matter where you take me, please help me and allow me to stay. I want to grow, but I want to stay who I am. I don't want to lose myself through any of, life with what he's taking me through. I want to always be myself. And I feel like Michelle Obama, she is always herself despite of position she's been in.
I love it. And I think that you're absolutely right. One of the things that, when I think it was Jimmy Carter's funeral, and I think she was like, if I gotta sit beside Trump, I'm not doing that. So like I'm staying at the house, okay? And people were like they were in this space where they were trying to push her to, why didn't she go? She should have went, right? She is grown. She ain't got to do nothing. But I tell people all the time, the only thing I got to do is stay black and die. Okay. That's it. All
Right.
right.
That's
Outside
it.
of that, I ain't got
That's
to do nothing else if I don't want to. Right. And so, I love how you said that she stays in her identity. And, I just saw a TikTok that said, Black people just want to be left alone. Leave us alone. Right. Like, it's literally like they're trying to push us into a certain space. Like, we say less. We just trying to make our money work, live, have great families, and, do our thing. That's it. So I love
exactly.
that. So what's your favorite movie?
I know that's kind of crazy. So I'm not really, I watch a lot of movies, not really big on movies, but I can say one that I watch a lot. I'll at least watch it once or twice a year. Is a movie called Brown Sugar, with Sine Lathan and it's Omar Epps, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
No, Tay Diggs, but um, basically it's a love story, but that's not really the reason why I really love the movie. I like the movie because I just feel like the connection, like I feel like they were grounded in like passion and purpose, and they basically stick to what they like their purpose and making the right decision what they wanted for their life. I just feel like it helps because I feel like purpose and passion is very important in your life. So that's why I really like the movie. It's not about like the love connection and everything.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna have to, like, some of these movies that when I ask this question, I'm gonna have to go back and watch these movies for sure. Now, how do you define success?
So I know a lot of people define that success by like money. I mean, like that's a big part about it, but I define the success as the impact you have on others. So despite of how much money people may be making, I feel like success is, are you walking in your purpose? Are you walking in your calling? How many people are you impacting? And are your children able to look at you and get hope, and feel like they can do whatever they can do in their life? So I feel like that's success when you are walking in your purpose and your calling.
Cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, listen, y'all reach out to Dr. Angelica if you want her to speak, and listen, go visit her. Okay. She can be your nurse practitioner that can work it out for you. Okay. Because she's amazing. All right. So now, and again, like, share, comment, and we'll talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, later. Bye-bye.